Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Wendy Kim of Your Dream Realized Business and Financial Coaching, and I wanted to talk to you about the 5 benefits of breaking your foot twice, because that is what's happened to me. Turn this around. So last week around this time, I had been running in the morning and I was all gung ho. I was going to run a 10K on Valentine's Day. And I'm not so much of a runner. So I knew this was a very aggressive timeline. So I went online, I was looking for a training plan. And basically, everything I read was saying you need to run 6 days in 1 week. So going from literally no running to running 6 days a week. And so I was on my third day in a row and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And I was running up kind of an uneven sidewalk and boom, I roll my foot and obviously felt a lot of pain. And here's the deal, I had broken my foot a year and a half ago, so I kind of knew the drill. And I was trying to put weight on the foot, and it was really hurting. And so I actually, with my son, he had gone running with me, I actually had to Uber to get home. Thank God for technology, right? I mean, that I could Uber home instead of trying to get home on a broken foot a mile and a half away from my house. So that's a bonus benefit. But I wanted to talk to you about these other benefits that I've had from breaking my foot twice. So when you break your foot once, that's one thing. But when you break it twice in the same area, it's like, okay, God, the universe is trying to tell me something here, trying to get my attention. And the number one benefit is because of this happening to me, I've had to really slow down. And I'm kind of a type A personality. Like, I like to be on the go. I like to be achieving things. I like to be accomplishing things, as was the case with the 10K. And needless to say, this has really slowed me down. I've had to just sit down a lot more. I've had to rest. I haven't been able to go places as much. And it's forced me just to really slow down my schedule, which has actually been really good for me. Like a lot of times right now I'm just sitting in the living room. Normally I'd be cleaning, normally I'd be trying to get stuff for the kids, and now I'm just sitting there while the kids do stuff. And it's actually been somewhat therapeutic for me to be able to just be. So that's been benefit number one. Benefit number two is realizing my need for people. And I think independence in our culture is highly valued. And independence can be a really good thing, but dependence is actually not a bad thing. And a lot of people think it is a really bad thing. So the other day I was hobbling around on crutches in the rain, which I do not recommend if you can avoid. So I'm trying to get someplace. I'm on crutches, it's raining, and I was meeting up with someone for coffee. And her name was Karen, and we had a Toastmasters meeting we needed to go to. And I was worried about how I was going to get to the meeting, where I was going to park, how I was actually going to get into the meeting. And so Karen was amazing. Like, she got her car, picked me up, took me to my parking spot. I followed her to the Toastmasters meeting. She I got out of my car. She dropped me off in the front. After the meeting, she got her car and picked me up to take me back to my car. And it was great. Like I normally wouldn't probably have interacted much with her, but we got to have just some great conversations in the car. And I just felt a deeper connection to her because she was helping me, because I was dependent on her. There have been many times where people have helped me get into an entrance or things like that, and it made me realize how dependent I am on people, but that's not a bad thing. It's like today I was at a coffee shop and I wanted cream for my coffee because let's face it, coffee with cream just tastes better. And normally I would try and get up to get the cream, but I ended up asking the girl who works there to go and get me the cream because I didn't want to get up from the table. And she was super sweet, and we ended up having this great conversation. She just moved here from France. And I don't know, like if I hadn't slowed down because of what happened to me, if I wasn't dependent on people, I don't know if I would be connecting with these people on this level. So dependence is not a bad thing. How can you actually remember your dependence on people and actually let people do stuff for you? Now my kids are doing a lot more around the house, which is another bonus benefit. Before I would always be trying to do stuff for them, but now I can't. And so they're stepping up and they're actually doing things to help me, which is not a bad thing, which is actually a really good thing. So the third benefit is this has actually restored my faith in humanity. I mean, people will start conversations with me, they'll ask me what happened. They'll get the door for me. They'll make an extra effort to help me. And if I were just busy rushing around, being my independent, normal self, I wouldn't necessarily be able to appreciate that. So I think that's a beautiful lesson that I've learned, that people do want to help, that people are there to connect. And that's been a really encouraging benefit as well. Benefit number 4, I need to take care of myself. And what does that mean? Well, again, when you break your foot in the same place twice, it makes you really think, okay, why is this happening? And how can I prevent this from happening a third time? And one of the things I've realized is I am getting older. I know, hard to believe, right? These Asian genes might be deceiving you, but I am turning 40 soon. And I'm realizing I need to stretch before I run. That's not something that I would typically do. I need to have a more realistic schedule. I mean, going from 0 to 60 is probably not the best thing for me to take care of myself. Taking calcium pills, taking vitamins, just doing things to take care of myself. These are things that I would not typically do. And I think a lot of times we don't take care of ourselves. We just want to get her done and make something happen. But really, we deserve to be taken care of by others and by ourselves. So that's been a great lesson that I've learned. Number 5, empathy. Okay, so nothing teaches you empathy like when you've got 2 crutches and a boot and you're trying to open a door. And you look, I mean, I must look pretty comical when I'm trying to open a door, maneuvering my crutches and my boot. And I cannot tell you what a joy it is when someone offers to open the door for me. And that is something that I've learned. If I hadn't gone through that, when I see like now when I see someone with crutches, I'm literally well, I will once I once I heal my foot, I will run up to them and I will be like, "How can I help you? Let me get the door for you. Can I get you some coffee?" Like, I will go out of my way to help them because I know how much of a challenge it is. So, my encouragement for you would be if you see someone with crutches or in a wheelchair or something trying to get in the door, open the door for them. So, this has been something that's been quite the learning experience for me. But I really do feel like in any situation, there are sucky situations. It does suck. And I have to tell you, for the first 2 days after I broke my foot again, I felt pretty bad. I felt kind of depressed, honestly. But now I'm at a point where I'm seeing the silver lining. And maybe you're going through something sucky. And I think it's okay to acknowledge that. I think it's okay to even wallow in that a little bit. But I do hope you can get to the point where you can also see a silver lining. And I would love to hear about something that maybe happened to you that you didn't want to happen to you, but somehow you learned something really great from it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.